The next setting that we can adjust is the iteration count. Now, we've already learned how to loop an animation over and over, and that is by using the class of infinite. But now we can say, well, I don't want it to infinitely loop. I just want it to loop a couple of times and then I want it to stop. Well, that's where iteration comes into play. So what we're going to cover is how to adjust that iteration count inside of the settings. So let's go ahead and go into our code. And in the past, we've already worked with animation duration. We've already worked with animation delay as well. Now the iteration count is pretty much the same. So if I come in here and add a dash WebKit and then dash animation, I'm going to go ahead and add an iteration dash count. And that basically says how many times do I want this to play. And so if I want this to play 3 different times, I'll go ahead and just type in 3 there. Let's go back into our browser. Let's hit refresh here. And you'll notice that it will delay for a little bit. It'll bounce. And then it will bounce again. And it will bounce one more time. And then it will stop. So it doesn't delay every single time. It will basically just delay the first time. And then it will loop. However many times you say it to loop, it'll loop and for that certain number of times, and then it will stop. If you wanted to, you could come into the code, and instead of 3, you can actually type in the word infinite here as well. Now you can do that as a class, or you can do that inside of the CSS. It's up to you. So that is how you do for the iteration count. That's how you come in here and adjust that setting as well. Now you could have it loop over and over, and then you could trigger the animation to stop. We're going to learn about that once we get into like jQuery, being able to add classes and remove classes and such. But for now, that's at least how you set the iteration count in Animate CSS.